Okay, guys, I think we have everything working now. Good Sunday evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing quite well this evening. Now, I wanted to jump here on social media and let you know that we have a potential life-threatening situation coming over the next few days for southeastern Louisiana, South Mississippi, and of course South Alabama. And that comes in the form of a tropical system called Tropical Storm Sally, which is expected to become a hurricane by the midday tomorrow, and then eventually make landfall on Tuesday, tomorrow night, and into the day on Tuesday across the southeastern portion of Louisiana and Mississippi as well. So let me go ahead and break in here and let me break this down for you. Now, if you're here in central Alabama and west Alabama, here for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and places like that, you can expect breezy conditions on Wednesday, heavy rainfall late Tuesday through Thursday. Highest totals are going to be west of I-65, which puts Tuscaloosa pretty much in the bullseye for flooding conditions and in a conditional risk for a brief tornado Wednesday into Thursday for central Alabama. But let me go ahead and show you real quick. If you are down here along the coast, and we're going to get into this for places like New Orleans, for places like Mobile, and for Jackson, Mississippi. But if you're along the coast in the immediate area right now from about Biloxi to Gulfport, Mississippi, you could see anywhere from 15 to 20 inches of rainfall with this system, because the storm is supposed to approach the coast and it is supposed to weaken, or not weaken, slow down, and that is a very bad thing. So there's isolated amounts of 20 to 24 inches that are very possible with this system across Louisiana, Mississippi, and coastal areas of Alabama. Now, as you move further to the north, as you can see, Starkville, Mississippi could exceed 4 to 5 inches of rain. Over here towards Columbus, 3.5 inches of rain. And then Tuscaloosa, you can see right here, 4.22 inches of rain is possible with this system. And down here in this darker area, you can see that that would be anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of rain across the Black Belt of Alabama, places like Sumter County, Greene County, Hale County, and Marengo County, closer on down to the coast. Now, if you were over here in central and southern Mississippi, if you were in the Pine Belt area, including Hattiesburg and Petal, you could see 8 to 16 inches of rain with locally heavier amounts possible. Widespread flash flooding is possible Tuesday into Thursday. Flooding of structures increasingly likely, and water rescues are possible in and around the Hattiesburg and Petal area for 8 to 16 inches of rain, very possible. Now, if you were from Brookhaven to just south of Jackson up to Meridian, you guys could see 4 to 8 inches of rain. And then, of course, around the rest of central Mississippi, you could see anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of rainfall. But the rain is not the main threat with this system. I also need to mention that in the Pine Belt area of Mississippi, which does include Brookhaven, Laurel, and Hattiesburg, you guys could see sustained winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, with gusts upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour possible. Now, that would be down trees with power lines possible, and travel may be difficult for high-profile vehicles. And then, of course, around that, you have a limited threat of wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. And because of the excess rainfall and the wind potential, the National Weather Service in Jackson has gone on ahead and issued a tropical storm watch for the Pine Belt area of Mississippi, for Hattiesburg, Wiggins, and Leakesville, Mississippi, and it also does include the Petal community. Now, if you're over here towards the Macomb, Mississippi area in the darker shade area, you guys are underneath a tropical storm warning, which means tropical storm conditions are likely within the next 36 hours, and that's winds of 30 to 50 with gusts upwards of 60 or higher. So this is going to be a really major flooding threat, along with some damaging straight line winds. Now, if you were over here towards the coast of Mississippi and Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, rainfall amounts of 8 to 16 inches with isolated amounts of 24 inches are possible across coastal Alabama and northwest Florida and parts of inland southeast Mississippi. 24 inches of rainfall is nothing to play around with, folks. Heavy rains will begin along the coastal areas on Monday, spreading inward and inland by Monday night. And once again, I'm just kind of giving you a brief overview, and you can see where you live based on, or if you have any friends in the area of around Mobile or Gulf Shores, Pensacola, they could see 10 to 15 inches of rain with this system, with isolated amounts, like I said, of 24 inches of rain. Now, for my friends over here in the New Orleans area, unfortunately, you guys could also see upwards of 10 to 15 inches of rain as well, with isolated 20 plus amounts likely. And that is not good news for my friends in New Orleans, because everybody remembers what happened with Katrina many years ago. So this is a significant threat of dangerous flooding across the area, including downtown Hattiesburg. Widespread flash flooding will be significant over the area here from 10 to 15 inches. And basically, what are the impacts of 15 to 25 inches of rain? This comes from the National Hurricane Center and NOAA. Homes and businesses will be flooded. Flooding will prompt evacuations and rescues. Flooded roads could make travel and potential evacuations difficult. Some roads may erode or form underneath, creating hidden dangers. And locations that normally don't flood will be covered in water. So that is a significant threat of 15 to 25 inches of rain across this area. Now, for those of you who live down in the Pine Belt area or South Alabama, as you can see, there are the National Weather Service in Jackson handles the counties for Hattiesburg and Petal, and then down for the coast for Biloxi, Gulfport, and places like that. That's handed off to the National Weather Service in New Orleans. National Weather Service in Mobile basically goes from Marengo County all the way to the coast and does include Pensacola. And then, of course, you can see up here is the National Weather Service in Birmingham. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go through a couple of the hurricane models that the weather gurus, meteorologists, and weather nerds like to look at. And this one right here is called the Hurricane Wharf model. Now, this is the latest data, and unfortunately, it shows this system just kind of hanging around South Mississippi. Okay, so here we go. And as you can see, by this time tomorrow night, it's going to be starting to get its act together. It's going to be sitting south of Mobile, probably about 150 miles. And as you can see, we step it on along, and there, of course, it's coming inland over Waveland and Waveland, Mississippi, and close to Picayune as well. That would be in the early morning hours of Tuesday. And as you can see, it is a pretty nasty storm. As you can see, winds would be really gusting pretty bad along the coast right there, from Gulfport along I-10 to Biloxi, Mississippi. And look at this. Check this out. It just kind of wants to hang out in Mississippi, and that's not a good thing. So that is pretty much the reason why we could have 24 inches of rain, is because this system is going to linger along the coast and around the area for an extended period of time, and it is really going to be moving at a snail's pace. Now, what you want from a hurricane of this magnitude is for it to come and go, hit the coast going about 15 to 20 miles per hour and just immediately just go on. But unfortunately, this one is going to crawl across the area and dump a significant amount of dangerous and deadly potential flash flooding across the area. All right, so this one model has it coming into the coast of Mississippi. This is Hurricane Wharf. Now let's go look at the North American model. Just a second. And as you can see with the North American model too, it just wants to creep along and not really move that fast. Now this one kind of wants to bring it in a little bit further to the west. And if this one was the case, that would put let me stop it right here. Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Just a second. Okay, so unfortunately I cannot zoom this one in, but as you can see right here, this would put the storm over the city of New Orleans midday on Tuesday, and that would not be a good thing. And let's see where it goes from here, because I'm interested to see if it sits there or if it continues on off to the north. Nope, it just sits it right over the city of New Orleans. So that is not a good sign. So that is two models that keep it pretty much inundated with the coast. And we don't need that, especially in and around the New Orleans, Louisiana area. Okay, now this one right here wants to take it closer to the Mobile, Baldwin County area. And as you can see, that would put New Orleans on the drier west side of the storm. So basically, the models are hinting at a potential landfall anywhere from New Orleans all the way around to Pensacola, Florida. And one more final one before we sign off here. This is also the GFS, the Global Forecast model. And I apologize about my voice. I don't know what's going on. I do apologize about that, but bear with me here. So, unfortunately, the GFS wants to bring this one closer to Biloxi and Gulfport, and then from that point, pull it up to about Hattiesburg, and then cut it across southwest Alabama, which would put Tuscaloosa in the bullseye for the heavy wind, the heavy rain, and the potential for tornadoes. So, basically, anybody along the area from New Orleans all the way around, and Huma, Louisiana, all the way around to Pensacola, Florida, really needs to watch the future of this storm and this system. Now, what I intend to do, as I'm checking here, make sure we don't have any other updates before I go off. And once again, the storm is supposed to make landfall tomorrow afternoon into, I'm sorry, it's supposed to approach the coast as early as 1 a.m. on Tuesday. So that's when this system is going to make landfall in the area of South Mississippi or South Louisiana. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this update. Like I said, I apologize about my voice. I do not know what is going on, but I will do another update tomorrow. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, wonderful evening, and as always, God bless. See you tomorrow.